Welcome to the MasonKelley experiment. This is MasonKelley, high school sports coordinator at the Seattle Times. It's a great day for high school hoops. We'll find out, how this new state playoff format works out starting today with games all across the state at various regional sites. I'm going to be out at Bellevue College, but before we get to that, I want to talk about a video feature that I'm going to have coming up here in the next day or so. Yesterday, I went up to Jackson High School and challenged Brett Kingma, Jackson's standout three-point shooter who will be heading out to Oregon next year. Challenged him to a three-point contest. We actually came up with the challenge during our Star Times luncheon a few days ago. So I thought it would be fun. We set it all up. We got video. I held my own. He beat me, but I kept it interesting. So we'll see how it happens. Hopefully in the next day or so I'll be able to have something posted on the blog from there. So as far as now moving on, we'll get right into the state playoffs that are coming up. I know there has been a lot of confusion and frustration about the new state playoff format. Here's an example of the 4A bracket. I know it's hard to see the matchups and stuff, but we'll start with the regional sites, and it'll be interesting to see how this works. And again, if you're confused, at each regional site there are 2 number 1 seeds and 2 number 2 seeds. The number 1 seeds play each other, and they'll get a try spot automatically in Tacoma. The losers, their 2 loser seeds, will play each other, and the winner of that game will advance. The loser of the number 1 seed game will then play the winner of the number 2 seed game, and that team will advance to Tacoma, getting down to the 8 teams, and then they will play that sort of modified double elimination tournament once we get to Tacoma next week. So, and again, it's going to be very interesting, to see how this all plays out, to see if the WIA's goals are really met. As I said in my story a couple days ago, I think that if this format doesn't work, what I would explore doing is going back to the old 16-team modified tournament format for the smaller classifications, and then in the bigger classifications just get rid of the consolation games. I think that would be a perfect way for this to for this to work. We'll see how things go. Again, if everything works out great and people show up and the atmosphere is electric and everybody really likes these changes, then I'm going to be all for it moving forward. So we'll just see how things play out. Now, I'm going to be at Bellevue College. There'll be 4 games there today. I'm going to kind of run you through those and see what you can expect to see there. We'll go ahead and start with the 4 o'clock game. 4 o'clock game features number 5 ranked Timberline on the girls' side, coming in at 22-1. They're going to play Shorecrest, 7th ranked Shorecrest, at 15-8, and this is one of the better loser-out games you're going to see anywhere. It's pretty amazing that 2 teams that talented, could be out on the first day of the tournament. I think it just shows you, how important some of these early round games are going to be. Shorecrest had won 13 straight games before falling to Glacier Peak in the district title game. Now, winning the district title game, and Shorecrest has a little bit of breathing room, but because they lost to Glacier Peak, now it's kind of a winner-take-all game against Timberline, which only has 1 loss this season. So, really a tough test to ask in the first game of the day, at Bellevue College at 4 o'clock. So I'm really looking forward to that one. In the second girls game, that game's going to come at 7:30 p.m. today. It's going to feature top-ranked Holy Names at 25-0 against Kennedy Catholic at 22-2. Again, this is a winner to Tacoma game, so one of these really great teams is going to get to live on and have another really tough game against the winner of that Timberline Shorecrest game. So, what a fantastic girls' side of the bracket we've got heading there at Bellevue College today. And, I can't say enough about what Holy Names have done this year. It's really a lot of fun to watch them because they have so much talent. From Erica Johnson, who's heading to Cal, Claire Conracote, who's going to Pacific, Sophie Reichelt, and just to name 3 of them. They've got a lot of talent. They can keep running it off the bench. So it'll be really interesting to see, how this plays out later today. They'll be playing at 7:30. Now let's move over to the boys' side. We're going to start with the 5:45 game, which features number 5 Lakes against Mount Vernon. Lakes comes in at 20-3, where Mount Vernon is 13-10, and this is a loser-out game. Lakes is a fantastic team. Remember, they took Garfield to overtime earlier this season in a game they very easily could have won on their home floor. So Lakes can play with anybody. They've won some really good games. So I expect Lakes to beat Mount Vernon, which comes in at 13-10. I just think that I like that team, Lakes, to move on, and they will play the loser of Decatur and Bellevue, and that game is at 9:15 tonight. Decatur at 17-7, Bellevue at 21-5. So it'll be really interesting to see kind of how this game plays out. Decatur, all about Jerron Smith, 28 points a game, really one of the top players in the state. He was named the WIBCA's 3A Player of the Year, and I really can't say enough about his scoring prowess. And so I think it'd be interesting to see if they give Bellevue a game. Bellevue obviously led by Nate Sigma and Will Locke. Nate Sigma averaging more than 19 points a game, and Will Locke averaging better than 18 points a game. And I can't say enough about what Kendrick Van Akron has done for this team. He's really grown as a basketball player the last 2 seasons, especially, you look at what he's done as a football player, going to Hawaii, could be a safety, could, develop into a linebacker, but, a Division I football player who has really developed his basketball game. And the one thing I really like about this Bellevue team is their ability to get up and down the floor. They're playing as well as anybody in the state. I think in some people's minds they might be the favorite to win it all just because of how well they execute. They get the ball and they go, and if you're not ready for that, you're going to be in trouble. The other teams I've seen that I think can really keep up with that style of play are top-ranked O'Day and number 4 Lincoln. Lincoln is playing as well as anybody, and O'Day, I think, will be fantastic before all is said and done. So that'll really be interesting to follow. So anyway, I'll be at Bellevue College all day. I'll have all kinds of updates from you on Twitter, on the blog. I'll have another one of these webcasts in the morning. Again, we're making progress on this, and I have to be, while it is beautiful outside, it's really cold out there, so I'm going to be happy to be in a gym where it'll be nice and warm. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll be back again tomorrow with this webcast, and other than that, just follow Twitter at MasonKelley. If you have any suggestions for this moving forward, shoot me an email, MasonKelley@SeattleTimes.com, and I'll see you at some great basketball games this weekend.
Good. How much was this sledgehammer?